Good evening again, everyone. This is the time to give a tribute, and I begin to ask myself, how can I tell a story of a father who later became my best friend, my mentor and my confidant, someone who I began to share very deep bonds with and grew to love him beyond being a father, but for who he was. I can recall memories flooding through my heart. I remember last year, December, when we were talking on the phone, we had just a 2-minute casual conversation. And before he rounded up, he said, "Thank you, my brother." And we both laughed because I'm his son. But we laughed because we understood that we shared a very deep mutual bond of love, of fellowship. I remember times of prayers, times of fellowship, and just general camaraderie. Little did I know that would be the last few moments I would have with my dear father and dad. Many of us knew him as a politician. A few of us knew him as a medical doctor. Some other few knew him as a philanthropist. But there's one integral aspect of him that seems to have dodged the public eye. There's an aspect of him that has bypassed paparazzi, the media, and propaganda. I want to introduce you to Dr. Doyin Okupe, the loving father. My dad loved us so very much. He was, and I say our dad very carefully because he was a father to all, both biological and also the ones that were adopted along the lines. My father loved his children, he loved us, he put us first above himself. Many times he would do everything just to ensure that our fees were paid. Even if it would cost him his comfort, it would cost him his liberty. He did those things gladly. One of the remarkable and inspiring things that I recall from my dad, as my dear elder sister, Sister Yemi said, is the magnanimity. He is magnanimous in nature. My dad's heart was bigger than his size. He had a large heart, he had an open heart and an open mind. You know, in this day and era when you're raising the Gen Z generation with all our rebellion, bad character, bad behavior, you know that many of us, including myself, have offended him many times. But one thing that shocks me is that once you apologize genuinely, he forgives you and he lets go. It will be as if you have not done anything. And I watched that not only through the lives of his children, but how he dealt with each and everybody he met. That he had a heart of gold. He loved people. He loved God. And he was always willing to let go and forgive. I'm so glad I was able to learn that lesson from him. I truly cherish the lessons I've learned from my father. He demystified greatness. To many, he was an enigma, but to his children, he was an open book. He showed us the practical steps of success, the practical steps to rise. And I truly appreciate him for the many things that he has taught us. Above all, one of the things that I truly value and I truly honor is how he took the time to instill his mindset upon us. There's a very alarming statistics that you will know and agree with me that most times children of the great never end up achieving what their predecessors have achieved. Many of them are often mediocre. Why? Because they were given cars, they were given houses, they were given resources, but they were never given the intrinsic mindset, the values that produced wealth, the values that produced success, the values that produced glory. I can proudly beat my chest and say my father took the time to instill these values upon us. He showed us his mindset. He showed us his values. He showed me his conviction. I thought I was a student of faith, but my dad, through his life, taught me audacious faith. My father could believe God for the impossible, literally. And when you see the many testimonies that flowed through his life, you would see that sometimes truth was stranger than fiction. My dad took the time to ensure that beyond resources and riches, he gave us the things that truly matter. The things that even if he's not around, we can stand strong as pillars on this earth to know that there's a glory to chase, there's success to apprehend. I truly thank God for the life of my father who taught us and showed us the most excellent way. Giving this speech right now, I remember the last few moments I had with him. This may get emotional. You may want to get your handkerchiefs. I remember the last day when we took him to the airport. I remember in the car, the last few moments, he was in excruciating pain. My dad was a fighter. He fought this thing to the very end. He was in so much pain. We had the privilege of having the access to get to the tarmac of the airport to the plane. And I remember I held my dad, literally, I carried him up the stairs to the plane. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. I'll look at him and say, Daddy, we're almost there. Daddy, keep going. Another step, another step, another step until we got to the very top. And when we got there, I said, Daddy, God bless you. You can rest now. Little did I know that a week later, that last action was very symbolic. That truly we ushered him and we were by his side until the end. But there's one whose this tribute will not be complete without. Because I just took him to the plane. There was a person who stayed with him all through. This tribute will not be complete without me acknowledging Madam Lola Okupe, the wife who stood for the past 2 years. Ma, I say this passionately. I watched you live a selfless and a sacrificial life. You gave everything. You gave it all. Your business, your life, personal life, and you took care of our father, and we are grateful. You are not just a wife. You are his counselor. You are his comforter. You are his helper. You are his advisor. You are his pillar. And I just say this sincerely, may our God reward you. May our God bless you. If selflessness was a word that came to life, you are the embodiment of it. May God bless you, and we thank you. I thank God, even though I'm heartbroken. Forget the hard face you are seeing now. I must have cried 100 times since the day I heard. But this is an honor to a legacy to whom we as his children truly respected and we loved. We admired him. I admired him. He was my hero. He was my mentor. And I will say this and say, Daddy, even though your physical body has departed, truly and truly your legacy lives on. In and through your children, your mindset, your ideologies, that which you have instilled upon us, your values will continue. Hallelujah. Thank you, everyone. God bless you.